All right, everybody. Excuse me if you bear with me for 1 second. We'll get started right away. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Calvin Chin's Martial Arts Academy. I'm Lucien. This is our beginner to intermediate Hung Gar Kung Fu class. We're streaming these classes 4 days a week live. We hope that you've been joining us. If you're new, please do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. If you click the notification bell, you'll get a notification every time we go live and also anytime we add content, which is quite often. So today's class, the format's going to be the same as it usually is, although the information will vary. I'm going to start with a series of fundamental exercises, some basic warm-ups, some stretches, some punches, some kicks, bridges, all of that good stuff. Then we're going to get into our 5 stances, Hung Gar 5 stances drill. We'll do that to 4 directions. Typically, I'm the guy behind the scenes editing live on the fly, but when I'm in front of the camera, we only have this one camera view, so I will try to make sure that you can see utilizing the mirrors or just whatever angle that I am facing the camera at. Please do comment if you have any questions or any feedback or input. We'd love to hear from you. You can comment in the comments section, and as soon as I get back to the editing on the back end, we can get those questions answered when our Sifu comes in, Calvin Chin comes in to continue with the class. All right, so with that being said, feet shoulder width, nice big hoop, and we're going to turn. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Good. Reaching over. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Raising the hands, bend towards the floor gently. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Again. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale. And exhale. Again. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Middle once. Inhale. And exhale. Hands on the waist. We're going to make a nice big circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. We switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Crossing the hands, let's place them on the knees. Gentle circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Switch hands, switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Hands on the waist, turning the head side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Rotation. 1, 2, 3. And we switch. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry, I don't know whether it's my ear or the mic that's not cooperating this morning, but hopefully I can get that resolved. Give me just 1 second here. I don't want it to keep coming off. There we go. This should help. All right. Well, we'll see. In any case, let's see. We've done our... How'd it go, Zivu? That good, huh? Okay. All right, moving right along. Let's open the feet. Arms out, turning the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Crossing the fingers, we turn to the right. Let the heel off the floor, straight back and stretch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, 3, switch. 1, 2, and 3. Both feet flat. And let's switch. Switch, toe up. And let's switch again. Okay, standing up. Both legs straight, turn to your right, bend at the waist. Okay, let's switch, turn to your left. To the middle. Let's bring the feet in. In the kids' class, we call this position the frog. Elbows between the knees, toes out, opening the hip. Let's sit, feet together. In the kids' class again, we'll call this the butterfly. We just call it stretching. Okay, right leg out, stretch towards your right foot. Okay, let's switch. Both feet out. Hands behind you, we bounce. Little hip rotation and up. Okay, we're going to get our ready position. Feet about 3.5 inches, 4 inches apart. Hands at the sides. Eyes facing forward, we make fists. Raise them up. Bend the knees. Heels out at 45. Toes out at 45. Heels out at 45. And then 22 and a half. Gets your feet parallel. They should be flat. The knees bending out. The back straight. Body relaxed. And again, fists on our waist. We're going to do Ping Choy, reverse punch or a flat punch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Low block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1, 2. Middle block comes across the body, stops at the shoulder. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. Now, hopefully you can see that the position is consistent each time. The low block is always to the same spot. The middle block, always to the same spot. The high block, always to the same spot. So you don't want your hand to vary. So this is one of the things we're trying to do, is build into our muscle memory these postures and positions that then become useful for protecting your low gate, your middle gate, and of course the high. Okay, here we go. Limon Sam Sik, all three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Closing. 1, 2. Low block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1 and 2. Sorry, Mike does not want to cooperate today. Okay, middle block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Closing. 1, 2. High block with a punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Closing. 1 and 2. Okay? So here we go. Danji Kyosil. Pull your fingers, pull the hands back to the chest. And we're going to push out to the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Going high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Last set, shoulder width, shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press. Thrust, flip, roll, press, and we close. 1, 2. Open, closing up our stance. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shake it out. Deep breathing, palms up, elbows down, elbows out. We inhale and exhale, all through the nose. Again, inhale and exhale. And one more time, inhale and exhale. Very good. Left hand on the waist, right fist up, and punch. Itu, Choy. Okay, switch, punch. Okay, stop. Keeping the body facing the front, we turn to the side and punch to the side. Okay, stop, switch, punch. Okay, stop, both fists up. We turn, Hiwa Choy, diagonally across the body, striking down. The alternate side comes up, protecting at the ear's height. And you turn your waist, bending the knees slightly, but do not turn your head. Okay, stop. Bina Choy, edge of the fist, punching out. Okay, switch, punch. Okay, stop. Chelon Choy, cartwheel punch. So one fist rolling over the other like a wheel of a cart rolling forward. Okay, you're going to turn to the side I'm going to turn to the side just to show you the size. You don't want to be up here, and you don't want to be here. This is obviously not going to help you too much. So you want the fist of one arm to line up on the elbow of the other arm. You see, that determines the size of that circle. And punch. Okay, stop. Kwa Choy, back of the fist. Punch. Okay, switch, punch. Okay, stop. Pointing your right foot to the left, right foot 45 degrees to the corner, lightly touching with your left toe, left hand on top. We're going to switch stances. When we switch, you don't want to land with weight on your front foot. You want to keep your weight on the back leg. Switch, 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 and switch. Good. Deep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Great. Now we're going to do a series of kicks. In class, we may do more kicks typically, but we're kind of pressed for time. So we're going to do 6 kicks each side. We want to be in a leaning stance, our left foot forward. The left knee is bent to the degree that it should cover straight over the toe. Okay, you don't want to be back here, and you don't want to be too far forward, so just over the toe. Your right leg should be straight, left hand on top. We're going to punch with the right, toe out, lift the knee, kick with the toe pointed, step back, punch. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. Make sure you keep your frame when you punch. You don't want to let your hands go back, exposing yourself. Here we go with the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, switch. Same procedure, same punch, toe out, lift the knee kick, except for this time we're going to kick with the heel pushing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. Kicking with the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, let's switch. Right leg back. Mic adjust. Okay, we're going to kick a straight leg kick. When we're kicking the straight leg kick, it's important not only the leg come all the way up, but it comes all the way back to your original position. You don't want to stop here. Okay, here we go. Kicking with the right leg first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, last set of kicks. We're going to do a roundhouse. Coming across waist height. Same procedure, punch toe out. Lift the knee, turn the waist, and you have to turn the hip over. You're trying to hit with the instep and a bit of the shin. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Deep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so hopefully you're still with us. When we're doing these streamed classes, we stream these classes. We run through the same format we run through with all of our classes before COVID hit, when we had all these people in the class physically. This is a format that kind of works for us. Hopefully it works for you. The next thing we're going to do is our Hung Gar 5 stances drill. It's a traditional 5 stances, not the wushu 5 stances. And this is something we do specifically at our school. And so we're going to do this to 4 different directions. So even though we have the use of only this camera facing me now, I'm going to start facing this way but offset so you can see in the mirror, and then you'll see me in frame. And then I'm going to come out this way towards the camera. And I'm going to go to the left again. And yep, you guessed it, I'm going to go back to the front. And that will end that series. So here we go. Ready position. Make fist. Raise them up to the chest. Open the hands. Drop the elbows. Push out. Palms up. Make fist. Pull. Open. Push. Pull. Push. Pull. Push. Double elbow stroke. Press. Thrust. Press. Big hoop. And we close. Right fist comes over the top of the left. Step out to an offset horse stance. It's toe to heel, straight line, chun. Remember, we're not going to do this with just one side, right? We don't lock the arm straight. We have to use the waist and the body, so we open at the chest. Okay, try not to have too much tension in the muscle. Sliding step, leaning stance, punch. Left hand comes underneath your right. Step all the way through to leaning, elbow stroke, punch. You have to turn the feet and the stance with the waist. Toe out, big cross step, make a hoop. Turn, dragon whips tail. Pivot out, again, offset horse stance. Corner back fist to the head. Make a circle, step. Step up, punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block. Left knee up. Drop and chop. Uppercut. And we close. Okay, I'm going to move back this way. Right fist on top. Bend the knees, step out. Offset horse stance. Using the body, chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath. Step all the way through. Elbow. Punch. Toe out. Big cross step. Dragon whips tail. Left foot, the heel should be off the floor. Predominantly your weight's on the right leg. Spin out. Corner back fist to the head. Make a circle, intercept. Step up, suspended. Punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block. Left knee up, drop and chop. Uppercut, close. Notice that uppercut doesn't come up here. Hinging from the elbow, and the fist stops the height of your chin. Don't put yourself in the chin, of course. Okay, I'm going to move to the side. We close, right fist on top, step out, chun. Sliding step, leaning stance, punch. Left hand underneath, step all the way through, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step, dragon whips tail. Corner back fist to the head, intercept, step up, punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block. Left knee up, drop, chop. Uppercut, closed. Our last for this series, right fist on top. Offset, chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand underneath, elbow, punch. Toe out, big cross step. Dragon whips tail, spin out. Corner back fist to the head, make the circle. Chun, suspended, punch. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block. Left knee up, drop and chop. Uppercut, and close. Again, hopefully you're still with us. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale once more. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to get a quick drink of water. Please feel free to do so yourself. Okay. So again, this is a drill that we teach all of our students before we begin them on the first form that we teach, which is Moi Fa Kun, the plum flower fist set. I know that a lot of schools that do Hung Gar, they teach Gunji first. Actually, we teach Moi Fa Kun as our first form. Lao Ga Kun is our second. Bambu Kun, the crushing step. We know that's a 7-star praying mantis form, but it's in our Hung Gar curriculum because our great grandmaster Lam Jo had a colleague who was a 7-star praying mantis stylist, and as a kind of show of appreciation both for the form and the skill of his friend, he added it to the curriculum. That's why we have that there. And then our fourth form that we teach here is Jin Jong Kun, which is the war palm set. And then we start with Gunji. So in any case, whatever way you do it in your lineage is totally fine. This is just the way that we do things here. So we're going to start with Moi Fa Kun. Keep in mind, this is not obviously performance, speed, or power. This is for instructional purposes, so I'm going to take it a little slower than you might normally do it. But here we go. We make fists, raise them up. Left hand middle, bend the knees, step up, suspended, turn the waist, salute. Step back, 1, 2, and we close. Bend the knees, toe out, step out. High block, low block. Pull your foot back, cross step, cross hand, step out. Right hand middle block, turn, dragon. Right fist on top, step straight back, chun. Scoop, step up, press, uppercut. Left hand on top, remove. Step up, punch, squatting. Step up, uppercut, remove. Step up, punch, suspended, high block hammer fist. Step out, cross block, turn to the rear. Drunken punch, left hand underneath. Sorry. Once again, Mike is being difficult today. Don't know why. So drunken punch, left hand underneath, remove, high block. Step up, punch, squatting. Uppercut, sliding step, punch. Squatting, elbow up, press, lift, cut. 2 palms to the waist, remove, punch. Toe out, step to the rear, come across, intercept, elbow, rolling elbow. Low corner back fist, palm strike to the head, high block, outside crescent, hop kick, press, bong seal, trap. Back fist, remove, step up, punch. Right fist on top, change of direction, chun. Sliding step, palm strike to the waist. Pull the foot back, cross step, scoop, press, kick, punch, dragon. Right fist on top, step back, chun, sliding step, punch, middle block, salute. 1, 2, 3, and we close. Very good. Deep breathing. Okay. Next up, we're going to do Lao Ga Kun. The second form we teach here, the Lao family fist set. Again, if any of this gives you a question or you have input, feedback, we'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Be patient though, because I can't comment while in front of the camera, but as soon as I get back to the mixing in the background, I'll be able to get those questions answered or at least respond to your feedback. Okay, so ready position, make fist, raise them up, left hand middle block, and we step out, leaning stance. Turn, toe out, suspended, salute. Step straight back, elbows in, pivot, middle block, suspended, salute. Step back, turn, feet together, we close. 2 punches to the ears, 2 punches down, cross, open, push. Scoop, right fist on top, step out, middle block, suspended, punch. Many of you probably remember a lot of this from the 5 stances. Step straight back, cover. High block, low block, chop to the waist. Pull your foot back, scoop. Press, kick, punch. Right fist on top, chun. Sliding step, punch. Step all the way through. Set your position, right fist up by the high block position, left hand out, middle press. Turn your waist and your stance. Tindu. Songgong. Elbow down. Dragon. Turn. Toe out, big cross step, high block, low block. Spin out, palm strike. Pull your foot back, scoop. Press, kick, hop, thrust. Open, chop. Tindu. Kick, press, phoenix eye. So this, even though this position ends in the same place as your uppercut or your back fist, the direction of this technique is thrusting out. Right fist on top, chun. Sliding step, punch. Left hand on top, step through, bend the elbow, thrusting elbow. Dropping palm, back fist. Right fist on top, chun. Sliding step, punch. This section's a repeat of that first section. Step all the way through, set the position, tindu. Songgong. Elbows down, dragon. Turn, big cross step, high block, low block, spin out, palm strike. Pull the foot back, scoop, press, kick, hop, thrust, cut, chop, cross step, tindu. Wang Chang Hoi, phoenix eye, both hands facing the left, turn to the corner. Cross step, right hand on top, we're going to turn the wheel. So left hand ends up at the shoulder, right hand ends up at the waist. Leaning stance, push. Cross step, scoop, turning the waist. Cross step, flip, step through, push. Step in, step out. Low block, middle or uppercut position. Step in, step out. Low block, middle, step straight back. Middle block, I'm going to move to the side just so you can see. Reach out, chop to the neck. Adjust the foot, thrusting elbow, dropping palm, back fist. Pivot, 1, 2. Cross step, open, trap. Step through, press, and thrust to the corner. Left hand middle, step to the corner, salute. Back 1, 2, and 3. And we close. Okay, so deep breathing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. All right. So next, we're going to jump into Bumbukun. Looking at the time, after Bumbukun, maybe we'll have our Sifu come and he can take over and I'll jump on the mixer, just so we have some time with his obviously capable instruction. So anyway, Bumbukun, the crushing step, It's a 7-star mantis form. We are trying to work not only on the mechanics of the form, but the visual aspect. Does it have that imagery that we're looking for? Not an over-stylized or over-acted imagery, but a functional imagery. So if we start here, ready position, palms up, make the circle, press. High block, leaning stance. Hop, punch, suspended. Come across, intercept, change hand, hop. 1, 2, 3, thrust. Step all the way through, punch. Cross step, big circle chun. Knee up, elbow, back fist. Turn, capture, pull. High block, ginger fist, scoop. Vertical, hop. 1, 2, 3, thrust, punch. Feet together as you drive that punch down, lift. 1, 2, 3. So this is like a string from your fist, from your right fist to your left fist, from your left elbow to your left knee. So as we lift the right fist, it pulls the left fist, which pulls the left elbow, which pulls the left knee. And the timing of this is 1, 2, 3. Hop. 1, 2, 3. Thrust, step through, punch. Grab, step back, turn. I'm going to move just to make sure I'm still in frame. Low block, palm strike. Step up, leaning stance, left elbow, hook with your right behind you. Toe out, suspended, elbow, step out, high block. Toe out, step through, Tindu, scoop. Pivot, double elbow. Make sure your elbows aren't out here. You want them shoulder height. Step out. Right hand on top. Pull back with the left hand as you strike out. Turn to leaning stance. Pivot, pivot, punch. Toe out. Sweep. 1, 2. Vertical. Kick, hop, thrust, slice. Step feet together. Rising uppercut. Press. Lift. Press. Lift. Press. Lift. Middle. 1, 2, 3. Toe out. Step through. Uppercut. Sweep. 1, 2, 3. Turn. Pak bu. Lift. Thrust with the left. Thrust with the right. Thrust and chop. Hook. Back fist. Pull back. 1, 2, 3. Thrust. Step all the way through. Punch. Turn. Vertical. Pivot. Step up. Double elbow. Again, shoulder width. Step up. And we press. So, all set. Now, see who's going to come in and he'll take over.
Any questions?
I don't know yet because I've been in front of the camera. I'll find out in a sec.
So I think Lucian enjoys that so much he should do it some more. Okay. So hi everyone. As some of you may know, actually formal classes in the brick and mortar location can't actually start until phase 3, which is probably around the end of June. But meanwhile, continue to watch the videos, stay tuned, progress and maintain as much as you can, and hopefully maybe beginning of July, people can start trickling back in. That would be nice. We would have, obviously some space differences. It's all marked out as 6 feet, but who knows. So that's something we're shooting for. But meanwhile, continue to stream. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. That will help us understand going forward how many classes we should be streaming and how many people would prefer to stay home than to come here. Hopefully that's not the case. So anyways, we have the 4th form that we're working on and the other forms that we've been building. So there's still new people that are working with forms that we did. So the last couple of classes, I've been doing pieces of the form. Now, in the 2nd form, I went through all of the pieces. We did the last section last time. So I'm going to go through the butterfly section and then a few of the movements near the end. So we're taking it from here, dropping the hands down, and then we have to pivot to that corner. So we open the stance and then turn. Flip the hands as a butterfly palm, step forward and push. Now the hands go down here, cross over, turn to this corner, cross over, flip the hands and push. Okay, so I'm going to slow that down a little bit because what's confusing sometimes is where the hands actually go. So when we go like this, there's one. When we step, this is like a cutting hand, goes right to the waist. This hand is like a middle block, but it ends up close to the shoulder here. And then we step forward into a horse stance and then push. So this push is not spread like this. If you look at the hands, they actually are pretty close, and it's right in front of the solar plex. Then I cross over like this, and I turn. I cross over like this, turn. Step forward, and push. Okay, so there's two. The next movement, we step up, go to the corner, one, uppercut, or cross arm block like this, two, strike down, and come up to this position. Okay, so those are the two sections of movements that go into those corners. Then we end up coming back to the center and doing that. Okay, let's try that again. So we're here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, try it again. 1, 2, open, pivot. We're in a leaning stance. Cross in front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring the hands down. Cross. Turn. Now this is where the hand should be. Step. 1, 2. So this passes through here, ends up here, step forward and push. Now we step up and we bring this hand down like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're going to sit back, step back to offset horse like this, press down, middle block. Grab, turn to leaning stance and chop toward the neck. Okay, so try that again from the cross hand position. We step back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we know this one. Elbow, strike down, back fist. So that's the transitions. Those are the pieces. Now when we're here, when we push, this is where on that side the hands are like this. On this side, the hands are like this. Okay, so on this side, the left hand's on top. On this side, the right hand's on top. Okay, on this side, when we step out, this is the low block. So low block is really like this, right? So the hand is coming like this. So whether you come like this, or like this, or like this, depends on where the hands are before you start. So if we're here and we go like this, like an iron wire form, where we're like this, when the hands are across like this hand just goes down. In this case where the hand is here, this hand just goes down. So the transition is from point A to point B, point A to point B. So that's really sort of a logical thing. The hands move from wherever they are. So if you haven't picked up on that strategy at this point, most of our movements move from where they are to the next position. So in this case, when we're here, it moves from here to here to here. This moves from here to here, and this goes from here to here. Step forward and push. When we cross over, this hand goes here, and this follows. This foot goes here. This turns to step forward and push. Now your horse to leaning stance transition, 1, 2, is the footwork. 1, 2. So we move our feet, then we move the hand and the body. 1, 2, and we're in the leaning stance. So in this case, actually, because you're going not through a transition and the mapping of the legs, you go from here to here. Okay. So when we block and chop, It's really essentially, imagine this, if a fist comes in, I did the middle block, okay? I cover like this, would be a chop. It's just that in this case, I'm going from here to here. So when you're here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so anytime your hand goes like this or like this, it's, see that cup hand is to grab. So when you grab, you're holding on. So you're taking the arm and you're chopping to the neck. Taking the arm and chopping the neck. Now one of the features that, the great Grandmaster Lam Jo was really noted for was the strength in the grip and the grab. So in grabbing, it's really to grab the arm or the joint area and then putting the grip on it, which is the clawing movement, would be the gripping with strength to injure the joint or the nerves that are in this area. So that was really one of the strategies of grabbing. So when you grab the elbow, it's like this. If you grab the wrist, it's really like this. When you grab the elbow, you're like this. So the shape of the hand and the technique of squeezing or gripping really is to strengthen your clawing movements. Okay. Now, this movement is really 2 low block positions, and they're not out here. One of the things you want to do is don't block like this. You're really here. So all the things that we're doing in a form is really finding the correct position. Position is key because that's the framework of your position. So if I'm here pushing, that would be using the palm, but also your forearm is actually part of that action. In fact, you can't actually do a movement out here because they're connected here. So your movements have to come from your body. So that's why we have to transition into the legs to get a good stance and transition in a direction to create another good stance and have our hands in, say, this format or this format. See, so that's a position. So this is a low block regardless of, now you notice when my hand is here, it's straighter. When I'm here, it starts to fold and creates a bend. That applies here. When I'm like this, once I block and I'm like this, it starts to straighten or fold, right? Fold to create more of a natural structure. So that's something that we always don't pay attention to because the body's a little bit tense. This is in the shoulder height position or shoulder level, and this is in the vertical. So you notice when we do the drills like this, if I'm covering like this and I'm turning like this, there's the action. 1, 2, or 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see every movement really is very precise as far as referencing. And the other thing is that it's part of the body form. So those are things that maybe the kids don't pick up on right away, but you have to watch the body position. Don't just go through the movements and just think that that's really what we're doing. We're not doing that. We're creating this look. Everything's about a look. How does it look as far as the position? Because the only way we can learn is, in the beginning, is to mimic the movement, copy the movement, do what you think you're seeing, and then eventually it starts to make some sense because we really don't have any guidelines for what all of that stuff means until it's explained to you. So some of the things that I talk about a lot is space. Low, middle, and high is a space. Every martial art talks about that. And then technique, are you grabbing? Are you pressing? Are you lifting? Are you turning? All of these things become part of the sort of the direction movement and also the method. The method is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with this specific technique? I know blocking means what? What does blocking mean? Blocking means to stop it, right? Prevent. That's what we're trying to do. So that becomes defensive. What does a punch mean? Punch is an offensive movement. Is to strike. So we have punches. How do you develop an effective punch? How do you develop an effective chop? How do you develop an effective poke? An effective elbow? All of those are direction of movement. So you have to define the direction of movement. So if I'm here and I throw a punch, that's the direction. So am I throwing it over there or here? So if I go like this and I throw a punch and I go like that, then there's no direction that's really correct because there's no support. So where the support is in the direction of the way your stance is going and your target. So if the target isn't directly in front of you, you have to set up your body to strike at the target and strike at the target. So where's the target? Your center line. You always have to face your opponent in a direction in order to be effective. So in other words, if I'm stepping like this, 1, 2, there's my direction of movement, right? But the thing is, the form's in the corner. So what you're doing when I'm here, or say in this position, and I'm going to that corner, my opponent must be in that corner. Because if I made that transition toward the camera, you could see that there's my position. So this position and this position are exactly the same. So that's what I call, a reference point, because once the body form is correct, it doesn't matter where you're facing. It depends on where your opponent is. So that's why when we practice our forms, we're moving in a direction. I'm moving in this direction. I'm moving in this direction. So when I block like this, the opponent is not there. The opponent is still here. What you did was step back and intercept that punch, and then we grab the elbow and chop. So when you learn the form, you have to translate that movement into something that's applicable. Applicable is applying the movement. It's an application. That's how those words come to be, and that's how we interpret things. So everything is defined as a space, and then you have to kind of look at the movement as you make your transition, and then you chop. Now, when I turn an elbow like this in the form, what you're doing is, if something's behind you, then you're going in that direction. So we have that as something happening in the back. But is happening in the back really always what you're doing? This is a technique moved in that direction. But the reality is, you're in this space and you're doing that. So even if I went like this and I stepped up to remove and strike, your opponent is in this direction. So everything that you do really happens in front of you. So your reference point is always in front of you. So regardless if I'm moving in this direction, I have one here, I have one here. That's two directions. I have one here. If I was to turn, it would be there. But how did I make the turn? I did the cross step behind and I turned. Or I crossed forward and I turned. See, so really footwork takes you in a direction, so that's why we do the footwork in the forms as a mapping of your movement. And then through that experience and that strategy of how do we get from this position to that position is where footwork comes into play. So when you do your forms, that's what you're learning. You're learning footwork, you're learning a position, you're learning a position. All of these are positions, and when you position yourself and do this, that becomes a posture. And those postures kind of are reference points. You have a high block, that becomes a position that you recognize in the form. You have a diagonal strike, which is a position you've recognized, because when you're here and you go like this, that really you can see on a functional level that that's a stroke from here to there. Anything come here is where you intercept. If it comes again, I can intercept like this. But look at this. When my hand is here and something comes above this arm, you have the rising movement. So if I rise and then strike on the opposite side, it's really like doing that drill that we do in the warm-ups. So you see, so the drills that we do in warm-ups are not just an exercise. It's really a training for a technique, because it's different from just blind exercise where there's no real functionality. Like if you were lifting weights, you're just strengthening muscle groups and maybe strengthening, a body movement, but not really applying it. When we go like this, we're thinking of punching up. When we're doing this, we're thinking of striking down. So that's the difference in what a martial art technique would be, or martial arts training or kung fu training, versus just physical exercise. It's really called intent, conscious intent in Tai Chi, or mindfulness of the movement has to be applied in some method or form, so that's what we're doing. So when we're doing a low block, we have a method and a form, right? We have a method and a form depending on what you're going to do with the next motion. So that's really the real value in the traditional form. It's really that understanding. And as you evolve, a lot of this stuff starts to make sense, and it gets easier and easier. Now the patterns of movement, when the hand goes like this, like in the third form, those are patterns, and the third form is much more fluid in a sense that it's taking movements and blending it and camouflaging techniques inside that motion that's a little bit more complicated to understand and interpret. So that's like how Tai Chi is. Tai Chi, you're doing it slow, and we don't really see any real technique built into that because it's so soft and so slow that you can't imagine it being effective. But that's just a training approach to really build your body movements and body mechanics. So body mechanics is really just like, mechanics itself is building structure and technique for functionality. So when we're here, if the hand goes like this or goes like this, becomes our middle gate position. Now, middle gate has two directions, right? So the two directions that you've already learned is this as coming to the center, and this is going to the side. So between this and this and this are the two directions of movement. And then we have it here. So if I go up like this, and I go like this, or go like this to here, you see another direction of movement. If my hand is here, and I go like this, that's another direction of movement. So between the direction of movement, you have right, left, up, down, up. So those are actually the only way you can actually move within the realm of that space. The next thing you have to do is how do you move your body and how do you take your step and coordinate the hands. Well, you learn that in your form. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Right? So in the fourth form, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a body form. 1, 2. 1, 2. That's a body form. If I take a step and do a low block, that becomes the next line of motion where you just took two movements and strung it together in a forward or backward direction. So you see how the method to the madness is your body has to learn these techniques somehow. So the method is the form. Then you have to sort of analyze it and diagnose the motion and interpret it as how do I use it in this position and in that position. So what I'm doing is giving you ideas so that you can expand off what you see as the visual and what concepts are built into movements with transition that have good body mechanics. You can go on and on with the same idea with just a couple of movements. And a couple of times I've talked about movements that go sort of back and forth. In other words, if I punch like this and I step up like this and then I move here and come back here, what you didn't see maybe is that this was a downward movement, but I went through a high block position and I struck down like this. Well, after I struck down like this, I went back to the position that preceded this, which was this. So what I did was I cycled it back and forth. So if I go like this, and 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 I convert it with my hand, you can see my legs moving from here to here to here to here. And that actually is a transition that allows you to respond. If I'm here, it can go here. If I'm here, it can go there. So you can see just learning form and memorizing sequence really doesn't take you beyond a good memory, right? And then when you memorize a form, if you don't have the good body timing and posturing that you need to have so good quality movement and good aesthetics and good transition, then when you get to here and it's all over the place, you won't be able to do that. So there is a method to why you want to have good positioning, good timing in your transitioning, good stances, and learning how to move, whether it's forward, backward, twisting and stepping, crossing and turning, crossing and spinning, crossing and spinning. These are all part of the footwork. And it's already taught to you in your forms, right? In your forms, all of this stuff is already there. It's whether you understand that that's what's going on, taking it out of the sequential context, or do you see that one leads into another, and eventually it's really not just the sequential part of the form, but the free form in how your body responds. So that's kind of how movements evolve into techniques, and how techniques become self-defense, and how self-defense becomes critical in learning these things, and at the same time building reflex. Reflex is action that's spontaneous, that happens off of what you've learned, and change the learning process into reflex action. And that's really something that's not always understood. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this, and I only just worked off of the movements in the second form, but the things that we worked on are fundamental movements. Butterfly palms, diagonal strike, a lot of the cross block position. All of that stuff will show up at some point in your training, and the more you understand, the better you'll get. And if you like that, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. YouTube is a good place to keep supporting us, and at the same time, let us know if you enjoy this so that we can continue to feed you the content that helps you support your own training and your own understanding. Okay.